This is the first episode of the Claude Pro Plan Survival Guide, a series for people on a tight budget who still want to work with frontier models. A lot of you are students, indie builders, or hobbyists who can't justify the higher tier plans but refuse to settle for a weaker model. The goal of this series is simple: show you how to stretch every dollar of your Pro plan and get the most out of what you're already paying for. If you'd like more videos like this, please subscribe and support the channel. You're 3 hours into your morning deep in a project, and Claude tells you the limit's been hit. You stare at the message. You wait. For the next 3 hours, you sit there watching your workday burn while the model you're paying for sits behind a velvet rope. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. Your Pro plan has a hidden 50% bonus you're probably not using. Stick around. By the end of this video, I'll show you the exact morning routine that unlocks it. Think of your Pro plan as a simple equation: tokens times time. That's it. There are two knobs we can actually turn: get more total allowance per day and pay less per turn while you work. We're going to stack both. Now, the obvious advice is just use Haiku for the easy stuff. That works, but it's a quality trade-off and it's covered everywhere else. Today we keep you on the model you actually want, Opus, Sonnet, whichever, and squeeze it harder. Here is the first lever. Have you ever thought about how the 5-hour token window in Claude actually works? Here's the rule almost nobody reads carefully. Anthropic gives Pro users a rolling 5-hour window. Critically, the clock starts on your first request, not midnight, not the top of the hour. Whenever you fire that first prompt of the day, the timer begins. 5 hours later, regardless of how much you actually used, the window resets, and the next request opens a brand new one with a fresh token bucket. Sounds boring, but this single mechanic is exactly what we're about to exploit. Now here's the part Anthropic hopes you don't notice. For most Pro users, you hit your token cap long before the 5-hour clock runs out, usually somewhere between 2 and 3 hours of active coding. Then what happens? You sit there, idle, waiting. You've got plenty of clock left in the window, but 0 tokens to spend. That wasted tail is not a bug. It's how Anthropic quietly caps your daily throughput without saying so out loud. And it's exactly what we're going to reclaim. Once you see the wasted tail, the whole game changes. Most people try to fit more work into 5 hours. Wrong frame. The real goal is to maximize the number of windows you open per day, because each window brings its own token bucket. Default behavior: first request at 9 a.m., window 1 runs until 2 p.m., tokens gone by 11:30. Second window opens at 2 p.m., runs until 7 p.m., tokens gone by 4:30. 2 windows, 2 buckets. We're going to fit 3. Here's the trick. Because the clock starts on your first request, you can pre-burn the early part of the window before you even sit down to work. Fire one cheap ping at 6:30 a.m., a hello prompt, anything tiny. How? A cron job on your laptop, a scheduled task in Cowork, or a routine in Claude Code. Pick whichever you already use. Window 1 is now running 6:30 to 11:30. Sit down at 9 a.m., work hard until 11:30, when tokens cap. The next prompt opens window 2, 11:30 to 4:30. Burn through that by around 2 p.m. Pick back up at 4:30, and window 3 runs until 9:30 p.m. 3 buckets in one day instead of 2. Same money. 2 refinements make this bulletproof. First, the insurance ping. Schedule a second cheap prompt just after the first window closes, say 5 hours and a minute after the morning ping. A prompt fired while window 1 is still open just joins window 1. You need to land in the gap to open window 2. This pins the next boundary to the wall clock even if you're stuck in a meeting when window 1 expires. Without it, a 45-minute meeting cascades into your whole day shifting late. Second, calibrate the offset to your burn rate. The formula is simple: 5 hours minus how long it takes you to cap. Track 1 workday to find your number. One assumption underneath all of this: you cap before the window expires. If your burn rate matches the window length, there's no idle tail to reclaim, but for most Pro users, that's not the case. Why Anthropic picked 5 hours? Quick aside, that helps you trust the model. Why 5 hours and not 4, 6, or 12? 2 reasons. First, 5 is not a factor of 24, so windows drift across the wall clock day to day. That prevents anyone from perfectly stacking windows forever. Second, Anthropic wants the window longer than your typical workday divides cleanly. With a 4-hour window, a standard 9 to 5 workday would naturally roll you into a third bucket, 12 hours of allowance for 8 hours of work, without any tricks. 5 hours is calibrated, so a normal workday fits exactly 2 buckets, and a third only unlocks if you go out of your way to earn it. Here is the second lever we promised. But before we dive in, a quick concept check. LLMs are stateless. Every turn, your entire conversation gets resent to the model, from system prompt to your latest message. That's why long sessions get expensive. Each new turn pays for all the previous ones again. Anthropic's answer is prompt caching, when it works. Anything stable at the start of your conversation gets stored on their servers and, on reread, replayed at roughly 1/10 the price. The rest of this video is about making sure you actually earn that discount. You can't earn the discount if you can't see it. Every API turn reports 4 counters: input, cache read, cache creation, and output. Here's what they look like in practice. Claude Code surfaces each turn's usage as a JSON blob, piped on std to whatever you configure as your status line command. 4 numbers per turn. That's your meter. Why does this matter? Because once those 4 numbers are visible every turn, you stop guessing and start optimizing. The setup is one small block in your settings. JSON, point status line to any script that reads the JSON and prints. Whatever your script writes to it, stout, shows up under your prompt for every request. Now you can watch cache read soar when caching works, and watch it stay at 0 the moment something silently breaks it. If you are lazy, just ask Claude to build the script for you. Now the prices. Input tokens. Base rate, 1x. Cache reads, 1/10 of base, the 90% discount we keep mentioning. Cache creation, 1.25x for the standard 5-minute TTL, or 2x for the 1-hour extended TTL. And output, 4 to 5 times base with caching unavailable. The total bill is just the sum of these 4 counters times their multipliers. One equation ties them together, coming up next. Once you know the 4 counters, the math is simple. Total cost per turn equals input tokens times 1, plus cache reads times 0.1, plus cache creation times 1.25, or 2.0 if you opted into the 1-hour TTL, plus output tokens times 4 to 5. That's the entire bill. Every optimization in this video does the same thing. It moves volume between these 4 buckets. The goal is to push as much of your traffic as possible into the cheap bucket, cache read, and out of the expensive ones. Let's read 3 healthy patterns. Cold start, your very first turn of a session. Write is large, read is 0. You're paying the 1. 25 by premium to seed the cache. That's a one-time cost. Don't panic. Second turn onward. Write drops to roughly your latest message. Read jumps to your full prefix size. That's the 90% discount kicking in for the first time. Long, healthy session. Read much greater than write, much greater than fresh input. Most of your context is hitting the cache every single turn. 2 patterns mean something is wrong. Busted cache. Write stays large turn after turn, while read stays 0 or near 0. Something is invalidating your prefix every message. Usual suspects. You edited CLAUDE.md mid-session, switched models, or reread the same file with different line offsets. Worst case, read and write both 0, all volume in fresh input tokens. You're paying full price on everything with no cache benefit at all. If you see either pattern, stop and find the cache breaker before continuing. One specific warning that catches almost everyone. Output tokens cost 4 to 5 times base and caching never applies to them. A verbose model reply can outweigh your entire cached input in cost. And it gets worse. That verbose reply then rolls into the cached prefix and pads every future turn's cache read. So a chatty assistant costs you twice, once when it generates, and forever after on every cache read that has to drag the bloat along. Tell your assistant to be terse. It compounds. The 90% discount is enormous but fragile. 5 rules. Keep it warm. Default TTL is 5 minutes, so long idle gaps force a full re-ingest. Stay active or fire a cheap prompt during thinking breaks. Order context stable to volatile, system prompt, and CLAUDE.md first. File reads next, user turns last. Editing anything early invalidates everything after. Don't bust it by switching models mid-session or rereading files with different offsets. Compact strategically, pay the miss once, then write a smaller cache. And batch tool calls, parallel calls in one turn, share one cache read. Caching decides how cheaply context replays. Memory decides what replays. Every byte in your Claude.md, every connected MCP server, every always loaded skill or plugin, it rides in the cached prefix on every turn forever. Audit it, open a fresh session, and look at the starting token count. Disconnect MCP servers, skills, and plugins you're not actually using this week. Each one injects its full tool schema into the system prompt whether you call it or not. Prefer on-demand skills over always-on memory. Write Claude.md with progressive disclosure. Keep the top-level file lean with pointers like cdocs/architecture.md when touching the pipeline, so the detail gets loaded only when it's needed. Split by scope. User level for cross-project preferences, project level for repo specifics. Garbage collects stale entries on a cadence. So let's stack them. Lever 1 gives you roughly 50% more raw allowance per day, 3 windows instead of 2 for free. Lever 2 cuts what you spend on every turn through deliberate caching, instructing for terser replies, and a curated memory layer. Combined, a single Pro plan stretches way past the default workday pattern, enough to make the higher tiers genuinely optional for a lot of people. If you found this useful, hit subscribe. This is episode 1 of the Pro Plan Survival Guide, and the next one is coming soon.